Well, let's go north. Let's go to, well, people will say New York, but let's just stop in New Jersey because we still might get the Sinatra New York Super Bowl right now. The New Jersey Jets and New Jersey Giants are a combined 11-3 at the moment. Out of all the surprises of the season, that has to probably be the biggest one. That are the Seahawks currently winning a division in football, and we all thought that they were going to be absolute trash. Being said, you have to figure out that the Giants look like a lock at minus 300 to make the playoffs, but they're still underdogs once again to those Seattle Seahawks. If it's value you're looking for, you can grab the Jets right now, Pam, at plus 135 to make the playoffs. Do you believe in these teams at all? Because advanced stats will tell you that the Giants are horrible, yet they somehow win every game.
So the big difference for me between the Giants and the Jets is one, coaching. You have Brian Daboll, who is clearly doing some magic at halftime. He is making the appropriate halftime adjustments. The New York Giants are scoring on 50% of the second half possessions. That's the second best in the league. So they come out a little flat in the first half and they figure it out and find a way in the second half. You can have terrible performance. I'm not somebody who's going to look at the data 100% and just like blind bet it every single time. But clearly, this is a coaching situation where it is coming to fruition, where Brian Daboll is making the difference here. Daboll has turned Daniel Jones into a runner. He had 110 rushing yards in a 23-17 win over the Jags. Continue doing that. Potentially, they're going to get better. They're going to improve. Continuously find ways to win. Now, the problem with me for the Jets is Jets fans are severely getting some false hope here because the defense looks pretty good, except they have been benefiting off of some opposing quarterback luck. They had a win over Pittsburgh, but that was a mid-game quarterback switch from Trubisky to Pickett. They had a win over the Dolphins, but that was a third-string quarterback that they faced in Skylar Thompson. And then they beat the Packers. Maybe that's a little bit more of a definitive, but that's a legit performance, sure. 4 sacks on Rodgers. And then they had a win over the Broncos, but that was against a quarterback that hadn't had a start since October 2020. So sure, the defense looks good right now, but now you have to really rely on quarterback Zach Wilson to ball out because he's had 120 yards in back-to-back games, only 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 8 sacks. This is a Jets offense that is solely relying on a running back in Breece Hall. Well, he's gone and injured. So I am ready to see the real Zach Wilson, and it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, that's the problem, Pam, right there, what you just said. The Jets just lost their best skill position player in Breece Hall, who had become the foundational piece of their offense, and they lost their best offensive lineman. Elijah Vera Tucker's gone for the season as well. That's a bad combination to lose your best O-lineman and your best skill position player. I don't think they're going to be able to lean on James Robinson and Michael Carter. They're going to try to, but those guys aren't special like Breece Hall is. And without Vera Tucker, I don't think they're going to have a ton of success. The Jets are going to have to win games ugly with their defense moving forward, and I don't think they'll be able to do it at the same rate. I like the Giants more for all the reasons Pam just mentioned. I know everybody's saying the Giants aren't that good and they win all these close games and that won't continue. All right, well, maybe they won't win all of them like they seemingly have so far, 6-1 in those close games, but you still realize that some of that's coaching and some of that's just belief. They now are to the point where they expect to win those close games late. I've been on teams where you're hoping and you're wanting. The Giants under Daboll now expect to win those close games late, and that means something.
Yeah, I agree with both of them. And, I kind of wish I would have gotten to answer this first so I could flex some offensive lineman knowledge on Ross. Elijah Vera Tucker, one of my very favorite in the league. I got to watch him at USC. But, yeah, you're down him and Breece Hall. It's tough to invest in a team and say, which one do you like more? You got to stick with the Giants in the sense that, look, Daniel Jones used to turn the ball over at an alarming rate. He's done a great job tucking the ball, running, minimizing those turnovers. They can lean on Saquon Barkley. Their defense has been solid. And again, Breece Hall, you saw what he did in the quarter against that Denver defense who was shutting other guys down. He was a very, very, very good rookie. So, when you lose those two guys, and like Pam said, you got to go back to Zach Wilson, you don't feel too confident about that.
Instead of taking the Jets to make it to the playoffs, what you should be wagering instead is Zach Wilson passing yards under props and Zach Wilson interception props. You will make more money betting those than for them to make the playoffs.
Has Zach Wilson thrown an interception this year?
They don't give him an opportunity to throw. It's so busy. They're running the ball so much with Breece Hall. Now they're going to have to.
Yeah, essentially the Jets offense since Zach Wilson has come back has been the Tebow Broncos, which is not something that Jets fans wanted to hear when I said it, but just look at it. This is what they're doing. Running the ball as much as possible, telling your quarterback, for the love of God, don't turn it over. We have an awesome defense. No one can pass on us. This is how we're going to try to win games. And weirdly enough, they might get that. That might happen again this week against New England. I assume Mac Jones is starting, but it could be Zappy. They might make we're going to run. It'll be like a college offense where they run Mac Jones out for 2 series, bring in Zappy on 3rd downs. They don't seem to know what they're doing right now, so the Jets might luck into another one here.
Damn, you're still here? Good on you for making it to the end of this video. If you want to see the rest of this episode and more awesome content like The Drive with Jeff Feinberg or Sharp Bets Today with Dead Prez Picks and Slop Rules, make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube page and all our social channels to keep up to date with the latest plays and giveaways, like this month's opportunity to win $500 on us. You heard that right, $500 on us. All you have to do is smash that subscribe button on YouTube and you're automatically entered. Look, it'd be pretty lousy if we didn't tell you how to improve your odds and double your chances to win this competition. So on top of subscribing on YouTube, if you comment on any recent YouTube video, you get a second entry. So again, subscribe for 1 entry, comment on a recent video for your second entry.
So get it done and let us help you make some money.